We'd like to tell you about how COIL, Collaborative Online International Learning, has helped us to connect students and staff at the University of Washington Bothell, the Waterford Institute of Technology and IT Carlow in Ireland. I met Jodie early 3 years ago when she was on a UW faculty visit to Ireland. We linked up straight away. We knew we had lots of commonalities and applied for a Government of Ireland mobility grant, which has allowed us to continue our partnership since.
I teach a module called Practical Media Skills for Health Promotion students.
I teach a health communications class to undergraduate students. That's rather large.
And as part of this module, students have to do a range of different projects. Some are audio, some are video. They have to keep a health promotion blog. And usually we collaborate with Smarter Travel, which is a national organisation that's committed to creating more sustainable modes of transport for staff and students in campuses around the country.
We were working on a social marketing campaign for our Health and Wellness Resource Center here on campus. And they were looking to create an identity here on campus.
This year, we collaborated with the University of Washington on this module.
We created a project that had similar components.
And something that came up was the theme of social connectedness amongst students. And we decided to incorporate that into our projects this year for Smarter Travel.
And so our students were really learning about what makes a good social marketing campaign.
We shared what we created then online via Padlet with Jodie and her students.
Then they were able to review each other's work, provide some insights, and ultimately deliver something to a partner.
And in order to try and establish some trust between the students before this, what we got them to do was create their own online story first and post that.
Having students really share what their life is like, so it could be a day in the life, it really breaks, I think, the ice and the students can get to know each other a little bit more.
They had to learn a little bit about online etiquette and how to communicate with one another in an appropriate way.
Of course, our colleagues in Waterford actually were awarded for their contributions.
Jodie, if you're the expert end of the COIL spectrum, I am very much at the other end of the COIL spectrum. This last fall, we barely dipped a toe into COIL teaching, where I was teaching a class in feminist approaches to women's health, and we were talking about a lot of complex topics that are pretty much universal for people of reproductive age around the globe. So what we did was we set up essentially a website where students could blog individually and post their thoughts about the prompts that they received each week, and then their colleagues in Waterford could also take a look at those because the blog addresses were shared. What that merged into then was an opportunity for my counterpart in Waterford to be able to show some of the lectures that I give to my students in Bothell and have conversations around these very different approaches to concerns that are really universal.
So students here in Ireland met material on women's health issues that from a totally different perspective that I would have brought into the classroom here, and the breadth and the depth of it was really powerful.
For me, one of the things that made me move from why do I want to learn to do a new thing, i.e. COIL, to being excited about it, is that a lot of our students are place-bound and they don't have the opportunity to do international studies. So COIL really gives them the opportunity to get that piece of international understanding from another group and to share the knowledge that they have as well.
From my own experience then, I was able to bring much of what I've learned about men's health and the various projects that I'm engaged in here into classrooms in the US.
An area of common interest that we have with our colleagues in the States and ourselves is the work that we do with community partners. We are inviting community partners in the States and our community partners here in Ireland to collaborate and work together with ourselves. And we're also hoping that this will branch out into other disciplines.
A key focus of our work at a national men's health policy level in Ireland has been community engagement. And through COIL, I've been delighted to share our experiences of engaging so-called hard-to-reach groups of men in men's health work. Last year, we were delighted to welcome our colleagues in Bothell to our annual Men's Sheds gathering of over 800 men in Cork. And my hope is that through COIL, in the future, there will be many more opportunities to engage students in men's health work.
Something that we ran into, which was a bit of a problem, I suppose, was the fact that our semesters kind of don't always overlap very well, or they might overlap only for a couple of weeks.
So maybe we're thinking about working mainly, 3 weeks together, or, just different mini assignments that can perhaps help our students, connect, but not necessarily be stressed out about finding the live one-on-one time that may not be possible.
It showed the opportunity for maybe asynchronous learning that we could really exploit in the future.
We had a blog assignment for my students where they were originally going to be paired with students in Waterford and share content back and forth. But what I didn't realize is that my students really needed a lot more support around setting up their blogs than I had really prepared to give them.
And it did present challenges. I think specifically trying to get the students to actually interact with one another through their blogs and the other online medium, which we would certainly try to improve upon.
We've moved away from the idea that, we will have a COIL course and everyone will move in lockstep and it will last the entire quarter, to instead a more flexible and modular-based approach to COIL. In many ways, COIL is just a regular class on steroids. You have to do some of the same work around establishing baseline expectations and mutual agreements. It's just sometimes a little bit more complicated, but the rewards are also proportionally greater for the students and for the faculty.
And we're really excited about our future collaborations. We've just received an Erasmus Plus grant, which will allow students move in both directions and staff also. Our Teach CoLab website will very soon be live. You can watch out for that. And also, we are planning a study abroad visit in 2021. So, Gura Mila Mahagwiv, thank you for listening.
Yay!
Yay!